Hey, this is Monty and Andrea for Startup Hour or the Startup Lab, and today we're talking about cybersecurity. We have Laszlo Levente, who is the founder of Santa Hunt and featured on Product Hunt, and he is a white hacker doing hacking for good. Today, Laszlo is going to be talking about cybersecurity in banking. So,
Hey there, thanks for introducing me. I have some very interesting topics from this week. For example, let's start off with the first one, which is which can be opened by this link. Basically, the first news on Monday or Tuesday popped up that Apple can still read your messages even when they encrypt it, because before they encrypt it, there is it's backed up when you send anything via iMessages or anything else, which is an Apple communication platform. Apple backs it up. So actually, before it's encrypted, so actually it's encrypted, but after like or before it's encrypted, it's stored on a backup drive on your iCloud. So Apple can still see everything, and this was a pretty big media news this week.
so
So
let me
yeah,
ask one question. Is there any way to disable, just turn off the iCloud backup, basically?
nope, not for iMessages because it's hidden, but it can be accessed by directly accessing it, not like from your folders or something like that. But it can be used against you pretty easily. So nope, not using iMessages is the way you can actually disable it.
Really? So, I mean, it says here if you want to protect your data from prying eyes, back up your personal data locally and turn off iCloud backup, but it just doesn't work for messages, iMessages at all.
Yeah, well, of course you can turn it off, but Apple has other ways to back up your data on their servers, because that's another point that they are good at. You won't lose your data, and there are visible and invisible ways. This can affect you if you are like if someone hacks your computer or directly your iPhone. But if you turn it off, your data can be still accessed on their servers.
This is very disappointing, actually, because, one of the primary motivators for buying Apple devices, within a business or within a company or within a family or within a startup is so that your messaging can be protected. In this sense, you're vulnerable and it's not necessarily the best way to run your startup, your company, or your personal life, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I was also I looked at the news very skeptical, but then I read it, and then I read other news sources, and it was pretty strange. I'm pretty sure Apple is working on something to tackle this, but right now it's vulnerable. So yeah,
Oh,
nothing really you can do about it in this second.
Monty, do you have any comments for Laszlo?
I guess the one thing I was thinking is, even though it's an Apple issue, I would think the Android has some of the same, if not even more, gaping holes with the
Yeah,
cybersecurity.
well, Android. I'm using BlackBerry, and it's pretty secure,
Yeah,
although
but it's
it's
also
old
BlackBerry.
school.
RIM is total different. I mean,
Yeah,
it's amazing how, like, BlackBerry had a great device that came out that nobody bought. It was like the BlackBerry 10. I forget what it was, but it was ultimately like
no,
the
BlackBerry
iPhone.
Passport, I think.
Yeah. And it was an awesome device, fantastic device. Nobody
I
bought
have
it.
it right now.
You have it, okay?
Yes. This is my main device, and I love it.
Fantastic. And I remember when it was first coming out and I saw it and I was like, this is going to be cool. But the challenge was it had to do with iPhone. It had to do with everybody else that was already out there.
Yes.
And
Actually,
nobody paid.
yeah, actually, they installed virtual Android on it, so I can run any Android apps on it, and it's pretty cool because it's usable this way. Their older devices can't run Android apps, and then they are really dead. They are old school and stuff. But this one, despite of course, the square screen, which is sometimes a bit strange to use Android apps on a square screen, but this can actually run your apps, and it's cool this way. I like it, and it's secure.
Yeah, most people just don't have a clue what that device is, and I thought that it would have been something that could have turned them around had they had a true marketing machine behind them. The way they're competing against Android and Apple, and in the sense that they're neither, people stopped paying attention to it. I mean, it became somewhat of a joke, even though they had a great product.
Yes,
continue to have.
Actually, they wanted to. I heard insider story that they wanted to completely stop making mobile devices again, but this device was made for their internal workers who worked at BlackBerry, and then they pretty much said that, hey, this device is amazing. Let's just give it out for the people and not don't just internal workers use it. And this actually brought them back to the mobile game. So maybe it wasn't like that dead machine, but yeah, in sales, it barely did a good sales.
Like, the funny thing is, the only person besides you that I knew that had that device worked for BlackBerry, and we were actually at an event in I think it was in DC at one point in time, and they were kind of talking about the device and showing it, and I was like, wow, that was truly incredible. And I guess back to what you were saying before, it wasn't a real focus, so
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
It was just for fun, for themselves, and then it turned out to be good. I mean, I love this device. I was changing my devices every 2 months or something like that. Android, iOS. I just didn't like them. And I'm using this for a half year now, I think. And I love it. So
Do you just out of curiosity with the charger thing, because we've actually talked about that a lot. Do you have difficulty finding a charger? Does it use like the straight?
no, it's USB universal. So I can charge it with any other Android charger.
Okay, cool.
Okay, my next news
Next news.
is this one. I'm not sure if the comments can be seen after recording, so we need to work on how to display this. Anyway, this
Well, one of the
news,
things we're going to talk about is having show notes, and what we'll do is take some of the stuff that we talk about that might not be displayed in comments, and we'll have on our site like show notes of what we don't.
oh yeah, that's cool. So this one is that everyone thought that Linux does not have viruses. And this week, another thing popped up on January 25 that actually you can have Trojans on Linux by not by affecting totally the system, but by taking screenshots, because it, of course, can't read your clicks, can't read what you type, but screenshots are open to anyone to use. Yes. So, and an artificial intelligence can read anything from that, not by you typing, but by taking screenshots. So, yeah. And it can be synced to Dropbox, Firefox, and later on hijacked. So, yeah, I was pretty, I don't know the right word for it, but I used Linux for years, and I was a Linux guy because, yeah, I could open any web page, I could open any app, and I just wasn't infected. And sometimes people ask me to check a link if it contains a virus or not. I was opening it, checking it, and no virus for me. Even if it had a virus, I just looked at the code, and, well, that happened. So, yeah. And this was very strange for me, because I believe that Linux is, because of its openness and and security like philosophy, it didn't have anything to affect it, but I was wrong.
So what are the implications of this Trojan virus? It says here in the article that it allows its hackers to get a brief overview of basic tools used on a daily basis. So by the Linux user. So in essence, if someone is using, or a Linux user, based on security, for security reasons, maybe it's confidential information, maybe it's,
yes.
You know, yeah, so maybe it's internal company information, then that's a risk in terms of, I guess I would say for startups, it would be proprietary. How do you protect your intellectual property with this virus taking active screenshots and timestamps of what you're actually doing?
Yes. But if you think about it, it's still like more secure than Windows or Apple, because keyloggers can totally track what you write in, and this one actually protects your password fields, at least, because you know, those are like small circles, and even if it screenshots it, it only knows how long your password is, but not the actual password. So it's a bit more secure, but I'm disappointed right now. The next news is really another one, which is disappointment. Lenovo has some built-in apps, and it actually had some media problems last year that it leaks out information, it installs adwares and stuff like that. But right now, one of its tools, which is called ShareIt, and I have no idea what this does, but it's in every Windows Lenovo laptop you can get built in, now has some security flaws, and if you don't update it, you can be pretty easily hacked. For example, it sets up Wi-Fi hotspot for file sharing with a password 123456778.
Horrible.
So yes.
Okay.
I was a big face pound after reading this.
Why would anyone in the computer industry do that? Let's see.
I have no idea. Don't ask me. This is dumb as hell. And actually, these are 3 security vulnerabilities that were found. And all are like this.
Monty says, I was just speaking to someone about how and why Google asks for so much while you are out. It's trying to have anticipatory design, guessing what you want. You want it to be. It's annoying and intrusive. Yes.
Yeah, well, it tries to, you know, make its service much more social in a way, and like much more smart. So yeah, this happens, but actually it happens with every service. Maybe you just don't know about it. Even Apple is tracking you and looking at where you go to personalize your.
I was like, I'm not telling Apple where I work or what I do, but like when I was working sometime last year, I was like, I'm not telling Apple where I work, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, this thing pops up, and I just got the new Apple, the iPhone, right? The new iPhone. And it pops up, and it's like 45 minutes till you get to work, and I'm like, how do you know where I work? Where I work, and that was the moment I realized, holy cow! You know, even if we don't know, even if we're unaware, it's doing that on a daily basis.
Yes.
Just leave your phone somewhere, and then go around and do your business, and come back to your phone, because it's a very scary thought that it knows you, even if you don't want it to know you, it knows you.
Yeah, I love it, because have you heard about the new Spotify terms of the terms and privacy policy and something like that? It can track if you are standing or sitting or going by a car or just walking or anything. You accepted it sometime last year. Sorry?
I I accepted it last year.
Yes, you needed to because you couldn't use. I actually did not, but because my BlackBerry has a virtual Android and it can't get your contacts and stuff like that, it stopped working on my BlackBerry, and I needed to change to Apple Music because it couldn't get my contacts, and the app was totally out of its mind because it couldn't steal anything from my BlackBerry. So I was like, okay. It also showed some nasty error messages about not getting my contacts and stuff like that. But yeah, I was very, very grateful that I had a BlackBerry.
Okay, so what do I do? Delete Spotify now? Because I was just telling Monty, I like Spotify because it seems like the genre of music, you know, it meshes well. Like even if I don't plan it, the playlist meshes. Yes, get rid of Spotify. Boo Spotify. Okay. How about Pandora?
Pandora is not available right here in Hungary, so I have never ever tried it. I can't say anything about it. I didn't even see much news about it. I'm not sure. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I really don't have a sense how it works and stuff like that. I actually use Apple Music right now because it integrates to my system pretty well, and Apple already gets everything about what I'm doing and what I know. So there is nothing to hide from them. Actually, I can hide with my mobile my movement, where I go, where I not. But my MacBook Air is pretty much broadcasts everything to Apple. So I just don't care about it. I try to not use private stuff on my MacBook Air. And for example, I use Telegram Messenger on my mobile only, not my desktop. So yeah, Apple Music is a fine choice if you already own Apple devices. And it has pretty much all the music you want.
Spotify, you just off-boarded me and 10 other people who watch this blab. And I did like you. I stood up for you. Fix that. Okay. Okay, next news, Lazo.
Yes, the next one is a pretty huge issue, and I think the biggest in 2016. Anyone who owns an e-commerce platform by Magento, update it as soon as you can, because automated bots and stuff like that already are popping up on the internet and trying to affect Magento websites, because there were like 8 vulnerabilities discovered and Magento patched it in a day. But still, it's not automatic, so you need to update it, and it is very, 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 very important. If you are not sure if you have Magento or something like that, just log into the admin of your e-commerce store and try to check it. You can see if it's Magento or not because it's written on the headline of it. Yes, about 2 million stores were affected.
Wow. And it says that it can actually creates an SS vulnerability that creates a new administrator account, and they can legitimately...
Actually, it can access your database, anything, credit card information, lots of things. SSL does not matter if your system is not secure. SSL is just actually protects you if you are an e-cafe or some public places and you connect to a public Wi-Fi. It's hard to hijack your session and to log in from your name or stuff like that. So it only...
In this case, it doesn't even matter because it creates a legitimate administrator account.
Nope. I can just sit in my couch right here, log into any of the older Magento versions and just create an admin for myself.
That's right. I don't think we have Magento.
Yeah, check it as soon as you can, because if you have, it's a problem.
Yeah, we don't, but someone who's watching does, and they're going to fix it right now.
Yes. If you need help, just tweet me or ask me or anything. Anyway, the next one that I actually linked you and Monty,
Oh,
is
yeah.
that the bank has been pretty much attacked. They are not sure if it has been hacked or any data has been given out yet, but they were DDoSed, and DDoS is one, maybe, what? Okay, so maybe DDoS is like, it tries to catch the attention of server admins to not concentrate on server logs, so they can pretty much hack in and get data without being noticed. Or DDoS is just for fun. They couldn't really decide which one yet. So if you are at this bank, try to ask it.
You know what we found interesting I'm sorry to interrupt, but we did find interesting about this specific cybersecurity article was the fact that, I don't know, what was the figure, 75 billion, I'm not saying $75 billion.
I'm not sure too.
Let me just double check so I can, but the point is there's a lot of expense based on cybersecurity, and that only 5%, was it, or 5 to 12% was actually reported in cybercrime.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Is it because the perception that if someone's system, a company's system, is sort of hacked and money was stolen or information was compromised, that in a sense reporting it causes a lack of confidence in the business, obviously?
Yeah, I think that because most founders are good at managing stuff and not like programming and really the technical side of things, and it's totally okay. They just really trust their programmers as gods or something like that, and they really don't hire a security expert to check their system for them, because it's mostly like $1,000 to $20,000 or even more to check it once, and like physical attacks too. If a hacker tries to pull up and just get into the office, and there are many types of attacks that are not highly paid or not valued, and if all the companies hire just one good security expert, they could have like, I don't know, like 50% of these hacks wouldn't happen, I think.
Do you think there's a big chance, right, that they just don't know that they're being stolen from? Like, people are stealing money.
Yes.
So get a cybersecurity expert like Laszlo on your team. Just one person can save you 50% of your losses annually, right? I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, another article that popped up is about LG, because this week everything was colliding. I don't know what happened this week. Anyway, an LG Droid bug can attack your LG phone by your birthday notifications, and it's crazy because birthday notifications, and actually it's pretty vulnerable. I guess none of their engineers thought that anyone would want to attack a device by birthday notifications, but it's not an excuse. So I guess an update will come soon.
So LG is saying oops right now.
Yes.
Any point of attack is a point of attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another news that popped up that actually affects many people is cPanel. cPanel is, for those who don't know, an administrative side of your site or server where you can create databases, create sites, domains, manage your sites and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And hackers pretty much tried to hack it, and they were pretty much successful. They don't know official details right now, but there were tweets and stuff like that popping up. So I guess cPanel is patching it. And it actually sent out emails that you should change your older password because I guess they were hacked.
cPanel?
cPanel, yes. Maybe you don't know it, but
I mean, cPanel, the thing that everyone uses to
yes,
build.
yes.
Are you okay?
This week was a pretty strange week and
It's a
pretty
painful week.
dangerous week.
Yeah.
Another one which is actually good news in terms of cybersecurity. My Chrome isn't sending the link. Wait, let me send it.
Is
Did
this
you get it?
no. Oh, yes, I got it now. Yes.
I can see it. Maybe I linked it twice. Anyway, it's Tails 2.0. So this operating system is based on Linux, and it is the most secure operating system right now because you don't install it. You don't need to have any permanent data on it. You just need to have a pen drive, flash it on the pen drive, and connect to any of the PCs out there. Or actually, it works on Mac too. So you don't need anything.
I think we lost Laszlo. So this is good news. Go and
Absolutely.
Tails 2.0 is available for
Tor,
download.
of course.
I don't know, Charles. I'm not going to click on the image because right now I've just been scared to death.
Lab dead because it was for me at least.
Oh,
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You were off for a minute.
Okay.
But Charles is asking if this image that he posted, the LinkedIn image, is a point of attack, and I just refuse to click on it because I'm scared to death.
This is just Imgur. Imgur is a image hosting service, so it can be a point. Actually, if Imgur was infected, you could hear it from the news and everything. So, well, it's image check, but it's also another image hosting service. I don't think it's any kind of attack behind it.
Okay.
Because from the browser, if you would be infected from the browser, you would like notice it because stuff were about to pop up, and I think browser attacks are the least security problems. I'm not sure how to say this in English, but you don't need to fear about browser attacks that much as like a desktop attack or something like that.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because browsers Chrome is like the most secure, and Safari too. They are sandboxed, so they try to limit what apps can do a lot.
So, and you mean Chrome? What about Firefox?
It's pretty secure too. Yeah, Chrome just has some plus security measures, and Safari. Actually, today when I tried to just randomly Google a site and I inputted my my location where I am, like the city, to find a store near me, and it notified me that I'm sending it through an unprotected form. So I was lucky. I mean, I sent it because there was no personal data, but in case you want to send it some personal data, it will notify you too. So I liked it.
So those are the standard default settings, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, the next news, which can affect many, many people. Did you get it?
Not yet.
Well, this is strange because it does not post for me.
Okay, Ron
You can-
Miller.
Okay, I will. What? Okay, my internet is dead, but I can talk to you, which is very strange.
You're being hacked. I was a joke, Laszlo. You didn't have to go on. Well, I think this is a perfect time to sort of stop the recording and stay tuned for the next cybersecurity lab for more information on how to protect yourself and your startup. Thank you, Laszlo, for being here, and we will see you again soon. Bye.